Hey guys, this is Hell Hades free to play. Guys, back on the free to play account, I want to give you a bit of a demo of how I'm beating some of these Doom Tower bosses. I had loads of people asking me, what sort of teams are you running? What sort of strategies are you doing? And honestly, a lot of it is manual and a lot of it is kind of like trying to big brain past the problem because I don't have the gear or the champions to just kind of like steamroller over the content, which perhaps I would have on other accounts that I've played. So we're very early on. We're at like day 35, yeah? And I'm punching up towards the top of normal Doom Tower just after that first month. So there's kind of a lot of things that I'm doing to try and help me get there. Just quickly before we get into that, you can see here we've got a couple of events running right now. Spider Tournament's got a 5-star chicken. For anyone who's a newer player, or honestly, just anyone, a 5-star chicken is a big reward. So make sure you're getting in your Spider. If you can't beat a high level, I'm just farming up Spider 10 right now. And I've been doing it since yesterday. So we've got 2 more days. But you can see I've already got nearly 2,000 points just doing Spider 10. And honestly, that's not the only thing I've done with my energy. So, and I've not been like blowing a load of additional resources. I've just used my energy that I've got. So well worth getting involved with that. I've also, because of Spider 10, gives me items which are either good for my account or worth a lot of silver. I've been able to do a decent amount of Aethel's Path as well. So far, I've claimed all the way down the left-hand side like I said I would. And I'm working towards this shard. Then I'll work towards this. And then I will get this legendary book. 2 more days. How much points have I used so far? 4.5, 5, 6, call it 7-ish thousand in a day. So basically, I just need to do the same again to be able to do this within 2 days. So I should be good for that. The way I've been doing it is just, it's pretty basic, really. I've been farming Spider. Stuff I want to keep, I've kept. Stuff I don't, I sell. And simple as that. If there's something I don't want, sell it off. And you get a decent amount of silver for selling stuff from Spider drops. Simple as that. I'm way more kind of like, I guess at this early stage, I'm making sure I keep a lot of banners because I just don't have a lot. I'm keeping a reasonable amount of amulets and I'm more critical with rings because I get a decent amount of rings from Spider 10 drops. But you can see I get a load of 5-star gear from Spider 10, which is why I'm farming there. And the silver that comes in, I'm then able to kind of look through and decide, right, where am I going to upgrade some gear for my champions? And I'm actually upgrading gear on champions where I feel like they're going to give me the best bang for my buck to help me get through Doom Tower. Doom Tower is kind of like my focus. What's the chance? 1 million silver to upgrade to 16. It's almost a definite 0. Down to no silver again, like the account always is. I never have silver on this account. But that's basically what I'm doing. I'm working on the 2 together, and it's giving me some good points for both. I've seen that champion training has dropped at the same time as well now. You see I'm starting to get a few champion training points, but not tons. And we're kind of working our way up here. This will be a Brucey bonus, honestly, but Spider is the focus. So how do I do that? Well, I get Spider 10, and you can see I've got champions which I'm leveling. These are the 2 people that can kill Spider 10 for me. Everyone else in there is just champions that I'm leveling up. Yeah, so I've got Sentinel that I'm bringing up who I actually want to use. Sepulchre, is that Sentinel as well? Yeah. Sepulchre Sentinel, I'm leveling out as my next 6-star. She will get more levels when we do mastery farming as well. This week was going to be mastery farming for me, but this Spider tournament was just too good. And you'll see here, even with these 2 food and someone else that I'm leveling out, we do this quite comfortably, mainly because of the masteries that I've got on Kale and Rhonda, where basically they gain additional stuff as people in my team die. Yeah, so that's going to be a big part of what I show you for Doom Tower as well, because a lot of the kind of strategies I've used around Doom Tower rely on certain elements of my team doing stuff. Yeah, and as I say, it was kind of, some of it was a bit big brain plays. So anyway, let's go in and take a look at the Doom Tower. You can see it ends up being quite a quick run at 1 minute 12. We get a couple of pieces. I normally just check it here. I'm either doing multi-battles, so I check it all at the end, or I check it here and decide what is worth keeping. And we either get some silver in the bank, or we get ourselves a couple more items. So let's look at Doom Tower then. I'm up to stage 100. Oh, I've been so close to killing this boss on a number of times. So close. And I'll guess for the final part of this video, I'm going to show you what I'm trying to do. But let's go back a few stages, because those people that can't get past the early bosses, early Griffin, you just steamroller it. It's very easy. It's just damage. Do you have a couple of damage dealers that are 60? Yes or no? Early Magma Dragon is actually the same. You just need damage. Look what team I used here. It was a nothing team. The provoke was pointless. Literally could have done it just with this squad. This is it. They just blew it up. Okay, even though they're the wrong affinity, because they've got gear on, because they've got masteries, I was able to just beat down Magma Dragon early. The first Nether Spider is probably the first challenging boss. This is the team I used to beat it. And the way I did this was a cleanse early on. I'm going to show you the next higher level. A cleanse early on. Some speed to keep my team moving. Plus increased defense. And it ended up being, honestly, and potentially a sleep for the spiderlings. But I didn't really need that, because I just used Kale or Elhain or whoever your starter is. They blew up the spiderlings every single time. I saved, most of this was manual, don't forget. I saved the AoE for when spiderlings spawn. We blew up the spiderlings, and then we 1v1 the boss. And it was very comfortable at 30 to do that. It gets harder as you get a bit higher up, and I'm going to show you a good tip to do that higher up. And then the Griffin, again, this started to get a little bit tough, but we just brought in 3 damage dealers. Cornelia was actually very good here. I guess I'll show you this fight. Cornelia was actually very good here because she's got the ability to push back the abilities of the boss. Now, it's a bit RNG based, yeah? But our A1 has got the ability to increase cooldown. So for me, Cornelia's turned out to be pretty damn clutch for this fight. But other than that, we was able just to basically AoE down the ads. Clear some of this out. And, you know, my team would be better now, but I'm showing you the team I actually beat it with at the time. Probably didn't have Rhonda as a 6-star when I did this as well, so it would have been just Elhain and Kale as 6-stars, so I might beat it a bit easier now. But we lay some damage in. You want to use your main abilities so that the dragon doesn't put those abilities on cooldown, because it gains more damage and stuff once you do that. So we're just using anything which is like an A2 or A3. With Cornelia, though, I throw in an A1 because it has got the chance to extend this soul burst. Yeah, so the A1's got a chance. It's not guaranteed. It's only like a 40% chance of putting the skill on cooldown. But champions like this, like Basha, I think Alika, there's a few others, Warlord, can do it. So she increased the cooldown. So she actually increased the cooldown of the A2 here, Spirit Rush this time. I always forget which one it is. Actually, that's a good one to get down. We then get some more speed from whoever your speed champion is. And we lay some more nukes. Brimstone on here is going to be clutch because Brimstone's damn insane. Look how much extra damage we get. I didn't have that at the time. And then we're just laying in some more damage. Now, if your skills do get put on cooldown, you can kill the Skelly Bob on the right-hand side here, this different looking one, to get your skills back, which is not a bad strat. You also, if you're going to start killing these, you want to kill all of them ideally. So again, I can just A1 the boss and hope to put skills on cooldown, which we didn't do that time. But this is going to be an easy fight because I outscale it now. But at the time, I didn't. When I first started doing it, I didn't outscale it, and I had to be a bit more, I guess, clever with my fight. So level 50, is this the first Griffin? No, second Griffin that we fight. Again, I could probably just, well, I auto-farm this, so I can just steamroller this right now. But I'll show you the fight on the higher level because that's when it got hard. Magma Dragon 60, I just straight up out-damaged it. Yeah, I didn't have to worry about mechanics or anything. The one I'm on now, I do have to worry about it, but Magma 60 was easy. So Nether Spider, and this is the first one where it starts to get a bit challenging. Okay, so I'm going to show you the strat I'm going to use here for the Nether Spider. We just need to make sure that we've got someone who's going to cleanse the initial group of poisons. Yeah, so I've got Spirit Host in here, farmable rare. I've used her all the way up for this particular fight. It's probably less important than I originally thought it was, though. Yeah, originally it was quite important to me to get that to happen, but actually, I think you can just blast your way through it, honestly. But we're just going to do some damage here, take these waves out. I do want to hold my main abilities. on most of my champions. So we're going to just nuke with Rhonda. You want to make sure whoever your best AoE champion is does the first nuke. So I've saved my double hit from Elhain here. I've also got Rhonda as my attack lead. Ideally, Spirit Host is fastest, and she does either a cleanse straight away or increase attack straight away. But I think I've got enough damage here to nuke. That has to be a kill. If it's not a kill, you're going to be in trouble. The other big thing here, you notice that my Elhain has just stacked a load of these poison sensitivity jobbies up, right? Resistance is the key to not having this stack. Resistance doesn't stop you taking poisons and all that other stuff, but it is the key on your main nuker to stop these stacks building, and that will be the difference between you winning or not. Now, I actually had Kale when I originally beat this in a higher resistance build. I think I've changed it since. Let's have a look. When I do his triple hit, I didn't used to take any of these stacks, but I think I've changed this build since. Yeah, I have. Look, he's got tons of them now. So actually, I'm probably going to fail because that has changed for me. We've got Stagnite in here, giving me a decreased attack. If it lands, he's actually in Relentless gear, but he's also giving me a decreased speed, which is really important for this fight, or really helpful for this fight. We then got our cleanse, so we get rid of all those nasty debuffs, which means that we're now kind of back on an even keel with this boss. All I'm doing here is I'm just saving my nukes for when the spiderlings spawn. Brimstone I didn't have at the time, but that's going to do a load of damage. We can get her increased attack up. Doesn't matter if I lose Spirit Host now. She's done her job. That first layer of cleansing is the main job that she's doing. More of these stacks you've got on you, the harder that hit comes at you for. So you'll see I don't actually have anyone in the resistance build that I had before. And as I say, that was the reason that I was able to win this fight. So someone like Rhonda here, probably just going to go down in a minute. In fact, they might all go down. No, we're okay. We're coming to the point where the spiderlings respawn. We're going to take a bunch of damage from poison. I can't nuke with Kale because his build has changed since I did this before. His AoE will not kill all these spiderlings. If you don't kill the spiderlings, this spider is healing for a lot. So we need someone who definitely will. I don't even trust my Rhonda's going to. So I'm going to just A1 with the Rhonda. And then we're going to go nuke here where I know we're going to get the job done. Look how close this is. So I'm dead. If I had resistance on Elhain or Kale or Rhonda, that's a one fight. That's the difference. Yeah, and beforehand, I actually had Kale. See, he's got like 70 odd right now. I had resistance coming in here, like another 20, and I had resistance in other pieces of gear as well. And that will be the difference between you winning the Nether Spider or not, because otherwise you'll do exactly what I've just done there. You'll get close, but you will get nuked. So and you can find out, by the way, if you go to hellhades.com, I'd love to show you the actual build, but I can't afford the silver to start changing stuff around. So we're just going to be telling you how it happened. But you can go to the Raid Stages tool on hellhades.com. You can find what you're trying to do. So Doom Tower, rotation 2, floor, what floor was that? Floor 70. And it will tell you how much accuracy the main spider has got. So accuracy is 75. It recommends you have 180 resistance to deal with that. Yeah, so on my Kale, for example, I actually went and got a couple of levels of resistance in my Great Hall. And I found pieces to give me, I think I had about 150. Or maybe I had a resistance lead. That was it, actually. I think I had, yeah, I did. I had Buren Giri coming as my lead, which gave me like another 50. So just find your way to get to the resistance you need. But that will be how you take down the Nether Spider. The next one we had to deal with was the Griffin. The Griffin was, as I say, Cornelia pushing back the abilities. It took me a good few times, but it was quite tough to do. I just had to rely on nuking the additional ads. We then came to Griffin Stage 2. Now, I didn't have Brimstone at the time, and since the Brimstone change, this is way harder. Okay, way harder. Now, I kind of big brain this one. I bought in 2 food champions. At the time, my Hikatoon had 0 gear on. Okay, 0 gear, but she had a speed lead, which I needed. I needed the additional speed, but I didn't want the boss to kill stuff I didn't want the boss to kill stuff during the boss part of the fight. I wanted these two to already be dead. And the reason for that is my Kale has got masteries that I gain speed for dead allies. Also got masteries that I gain speed for stuff that I kill. Yeah, and same with my Elhain. And I think Rhonda has got the stuff for things that I kill as well. So I was gaining speed for a speed lead. I was gaining speed for 2 people dying. And then basically I was 3-man-ing the boss. Yeah, now my High Katoon's actually got gear on now. I don't know if she's going to get nuked by these waves like she did at the time. She might do. Let's have a look. The way we did this was I wanted to even out the kills. Because I got more speed for stuff dying, I wanted 3 kills for each of Kale, Rhonda, and Elhain. So I split the speed equally. So I was like, right, Kale's got 2. And then I was like, okay, Rhonda can get these 3. That's Rhonda's done. Don't need any more for Rhonda now. I need 3 for Elhain, 1 for Kale. This is actually how I did it. It's, I would say I tried this fight a lot of times. Now, I need to keep some stuff alive so that they do kill my 2 ads. And I don't want Rhonda to kill anyone, so I'm just going for a low priority fight. These ones we're just making sure that we don't kill anything. Kale needs 1 more kill. Does he? Did he just get 2? I think he got 2, yeah. So that's his 3rd. Elhain now needs to kill the rest, ideally. But I do want my ads to die. 1's dead. High Katoon might end up living here, which would be a nightmare. Not a nightmare, it's just not great for what I'm trying to show you. Killer! Nice. Okay, she's dead. Can we get Elhain the rest of the kills? Probably not. She's frozen up. Don't die. Okay, she did. Okay, so we end up with a 2 split for Elhain. But it's not a bad setup, okay? And from this point on, so I got my speed from the speed lead still. That still works. I've got my additional speed for killing stuff. And I've got my additional speed for 2 of my team being dead. I've got Phantom Touch on Kale and Elhain. And I've got War Master on everybody, Giant Slayer on Rhonda. And it was literally just a case of, can I get the job done? Now, I held my poison for after the time that the Griffin does the kind of debuff spread. So I'll go A1 here first with Kale. It's quite specific. As I say, I was kind of min-maxing my opportunity to do stuff. Because you don't want your team to go below half health. That's when the Griffin starts getting extra stacks. Just pumping in as much damage as we can. A2 here, so we don't apply any more poison. I don't want him throwing back more debuffs to me than I can deal with. So A2 here. Rhonda runs in with her A1. Always A1 or A2 with Rhonda, never A3. Does less damage. She's now used the debuff spread. So at this point, I was throwing on my triple or quadruple poison from Kale, hoping to get as many as I could. Brimstone here is actually perfect. I didn't have Brimstone when I did this, but Brimstone would be pushed back to us. So that's when you want it to land. That was just lucky. It landed there. A1 here again with Kale. Hoping not to get feared because you want to top up your health all the time. Also hoping that Rhonda's going to run in with you and do additional damage with you. Because then she gets to heal up. And that's what this is all about. Just healing up at the right time. A1 with Kale there because I want to save the A2 for when we're close to this happening here. A2, getting more damage done. A2. A2 here because we're close to the kind of debuff spread back to us. We're not taking any debuffs because they've all been eaten up. And it's a rinse and repeat. And I'll tell you what, I must have done this fight about 50 times to eventually get it to work. My gear might be slightly better than it was then. And the way I look at this is like, if you've got the Griffin below quarter health on about 4 stacks, you're in a good spot. Half health at about 8 stacks, you're in a good spot. Yeah, and you're hoping that nobody's going below that half health. Or not too early anyway. A2 here because we're close to the debuff spread. Hoping for as many War Master or Phantom Touch procs as we can get. We're hoping we don't get crits. There's a reasonable chance we get a weak hit against us. So I'm at 8 stacks halfway, which is about where it should be. Not perfect, but it's about where it should be. And as I say, I tried this fight a ton of times. And in the end, this kind of big brain method was my best way to get it done. Bringing 3 men into the main fight instead of the full 5. Because the trouble is, if you bring in people that are not strong here, then all you're going to get is they go below half health early and you get nuked. So we're down to 11 stacks here, coming close to a quarter health. few of my things have gone out of sync because the Griffin's got faster now. Smite's gone on. Now, we're going to get the first amount of damage here. The second one, I don't think will spread to me either. So, Smite has been just straight luck in this kind of showcase. It will do a lot of damage to this Griffin. And now we're just trying to get to the home run. The chances are some people will end up going below half health and dying, but I ended up getting there just with one standing, I think, when I did it. But you'll see here, this time around, it's gone really smooth. And it's look, but see how quickly someone dies against the Griffin. The Griffin's like, no, takes no prisoners. Literally, when it decides to kill you, it will kill you. If it does a crit, you're very dead. But we should be safe. And there you go. Quite a long fight. I had to manual it first time round. Obviously, that time it was more of a show of how it can be done. But yeah, that has been tough. And now we come on to my nemesis. This is what I've been working to beat right now. And I've tried a ton of different ways. I absolutely need a speed lead because my champs are just not quick enough. So Cornelia's coming in as a speed lead stroke healer. I'm bringing in Rhonda and Kale for damage. I'm bringing in Sepulchre and Stag. And Stag, I changed to Relentless Gear to try and make this work. I've been so close to doing this a number of times. I'm still going to nuke the waves. I'll get us to the boss. Now, what I am doing here is I'm doing a lot of A1s at the end to make sure I've got all of my abilities back for the main boss fight, making sure that we've got no kind of people with low health. Oh, this is hard. So I've got the wrong affinity on 3 of my champions here, which makes this super tough, okay? But we're trying to land poisons. Hopefully, we've got 0 there, so this is a bad RNG start. I want Rhonda to land Brimstone as early as possible. Didn't get it. And Cornelia does nothing apart from a heal now and then. Stag Knight has got a decreased attack and defense. I could do a Stag Knight being faster so that he does that before everyone else goes. We didn't land decreased attack, which probably means this is a straight wipe. My Sepulchre's got block debuffs and increased defense, but additional decreased attack. So, as it is right now, I know this is a fail. I just know it already is a fail because we didn't land our decreased attack, and we absolutely need to. Otherwise, we're just in massive trouble. We want extra turns from the Stag to get back to his ability as soon as possible. Sepulchre was my backup decreased attack. She also didn't land it, and she's going to be dead. See that? So I've already lost my kind of backup decreased attack champion. Brimstone's out there kind of early. It's not too bad. I need extra turns here from my Stag, or it just won't work. And she's now dead. Oh, no, she's gone for her. That's actually good. Actually good that he's flipped it over to my Rhonda there. Need an extra turn. Didn't get it. We get back to him. Might get back to him, actually. Play my poisons. Didn't. Everyone's dead. And that's a poor attempt. I've got this dragon down to about here with good RNG, but I'm so RNG reliant. I'll show you another attempt. Okay, let's try again. See if we get better RNG. 1 poison this time. Still not great. No Brimstone again. Still not great. Stag, land some stuff. Got a decreased attack. I really want decreased defense as well. Like, that's where the RNG is, but he's not fully booked yet. But the decreased attack means we take significantly less damage. The other option I've got here is getting a Provoker to do a job for me. Still no Brimstone. So annoying. And I've got an extra turn. This is good. Stacking some extra turns is always good. Extra decreased attack this time, so it gives us an extra stack of it. But yeah, bringing in a Provoker means we take way less damage, but I just don't have one who is reliable enough yet. She's going to be dead if I don't heal her. Just to heal Kale. I think she's dead anyway. Still no Brimstone. Dead. Okay. Decrease attack and defense is on this time. Land in poisons and nuke. Extra turn. This is what I need. I'm reliant on Relentless Gear to give me a chance to keep this going all the time. So I'm leveling out my Sepulchre and getting her masteries at the moment. I think that'll make a big difference. Finally, we got Brimstone on. Is she dead anyway? I think she's dead anyway. She's almost definitely dead anyway. So we're just going to try and heal Stag. Stag needs an extra turn. He got it. Lucky. So I'm literally relying on luck. But I did need decreased defense because we don't heal by anywhere near as much unless that decreased defense goes on as well. I need some Stag extra turn love. Don't die, Rhonda. Rhonda is my only proper source of damage. Without Brimstone, I'm nowhere near it on damage. I'm going to be dead here. So I'm still nowhere near. This is a poor run. As I say, I've had it a number of times down below a quarter, but it's reliant on so much good RNG that it's so hard. I don't know how people have done it so far, but I am struggling with this fight a lot. If we look at the best teams so far, I think Brimstone has been the answer. There was no provoker here. I'm guessing Wix was able to revive people. He's got double 6-star revivers. I think Nether used decrease attack A1. I mean, he used 40 and a 50 to get this done. So fair play. Double speed, I guess, is kind of pumping back round to abilities quite quick. Phillips double speed again, plus some inbuilt kind of passive damage reduction and a heal. I guess Apothecary's heal is quite nice. Deadwood's just got a big man team. And then probably the first couple of teams here that actually used a provoke were the teams down the bottom. Now, I do have in my vault someone that I've tried to use here in Umbral. And Umbral does a decent job to start us off. In fact, I can show you this. So when we get to this point with Umbral, now I am leveling out a Sentinel, so he might just be better than Umbral here. But basically, it's the same principle. You still want the abilities to land. Ideally, there I wanted the decreased defense because I want to get bigger hits in. But with Umbral, we go straight in with the provoke. 2-turn provoke goes on, and Umbral becomes the only person taking any damage. So we're able to save our other abilities when Umbral's going to die. But at level 40 with minimal gear, she just takes too much damage for me to get any real benefit from that. We actually had the Sepulchre no damage come in there as well, which is cool. I think I'm going to have to go increase defense at this point because we're going to take a nuke now that the provoker's gone. Can't get back there in time. Master Butcher was actually better for this fight than even Umbral here. Because we're now in trouble. We've got no decreased attack on. I need it to land. Doesn't land. I've got one more chance with Stag Knight. Need it to land. And again, he didn't land it. What's with this RNG on this video? Which means we get nuked. Yeah, without the decreased attack on, without provoke happening, we get nuked. So bringing the provoker in for me at the moment is really only giving me about, I don't know, like an 1/8 of the kind of health pool worth of time. It's not really worth it until I've got one that's going to either be more consistent or tankier. So if my Umbral could live and stay alive for a bit longer, then maybe that works. But we end up in the same position. So this is my nemesis. But hopefully you've learned some tips there to help you through Doom Tower. I've been Hell Hades, free to play. If you've got any ideas about this one, let me know. I'll see you later.